All right, so for our first little video, I want to bring to you something that I do as often as possible in the morning, straight out of bed, a little bit of a stretch to get the body ready for the day. It's super simple, you don't need anything. You could even do this in bed. I prefer to roll out onto the carpet because I find the floor a little bit less forgiving, a little bit more supportive. But whatever works for you. So we're gonna start lying down. And just stretching the body out long, letting the legs go long and taking the arms up overhead. Keep the back of the body heavy, feeling a grounding, a connection, and then start to work your tippy toes and your fingertips as far away from each other as possible. Exploring the space you have in your body and starting to find some vibrancy, some energy through this lengthening out. Fun fact, we're actually a little bit taller in the morning because we haven't compressed our bones as we move through the day. So let's really enjoy this lengthening out, our maximum height. And we're going to take it side to side. So walking the feet out to the right, walking the hands out to the right, but keeping the hips where they are and feel a little bit more length through the left side of your body. You can take your left ankle onto your right, your left hand onto your right if that's comfortable. Giving yourself a nice big stretch down the side. And taking some long breaths in and out through the nose as you breathe into your left side body. Once you feel nice and lengthened, let's come back to center. And take it over to the other side, so hands and feet to the left. Optional cross of right ankle over left foot, right hand over left hand. Maybe noticing if this side feels a little different. Can you breathe some more into your right side? And then coming back through center. Take one more big breath in, enjoy all this space you have. Then use the exhale to bring the knees in towards the chest, the hands to the knees. Ground the lower back down into the floor or mat or bed beneath you and just give yourself a bit of a roll out, side to side. Taking a moment to check in with how the lower back and the hips feel this morning. And then we're going to make our way up, so you can rock out onto one side and lift up. Otherwise, you might want to start to rock back and forth a little bit and make your way up into a seated position. All right, from here, legs start to go long. They don't need to be fully extended. Bringing a bit more length into the hamstrings. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, lift and lengthen. Then exhale, take a nice big fold forward over the legs. Let the toes point up toward the ceiling. Keep the feet about hip distance apart. And then allow the head to go heavy. So the head drops, chin to chest, back of the neck lengthens, arms are relaxed and soft. Taking a few breaths here into the back body. So really feeling out the lower back, the middle back, the space between the shoulder blades. Can we give these areas even more space still? And then starting to come up out of this. Again, let's reach the arms high. And then bringing the legs in toward you to across the ankles, we'll come over into a tabletop. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. You can support the knees with a little bit of extra padding as needed. Spread the fingers wide and we'll move through some cat-cow, waking up our spine. As you inhale, stretch the belly out, tilt the tailbone up, track the chest and gaze forward. Then exhale, press firmly into the mat, chin to chest, tailbone tilts down, hollow out the belly. And take a couple more rounds with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale. Keep this going. Just a little note, it's really important as you come into the cow shape, the stretch of the belly, that we're not jarring the neck and gazing up to the ceiling. You can see the compression through the back of my neck. So instead, press out of the shoulders, look forward, keep the back of the neck long as you stretch the belly, and then reverse hollow out the belly. And let's take one more round together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Press down into the knees and we'll lift up to a kneeling position. Reach the arms up nice and high. And as you exhale, circle the hands around behind your lower back. Squeeze the palms toward each other, interlace the fingers. You can keep the elbows a little bit bent if the shoulders are feeling particularly tight. This is a nice option. Otherwise, we start to pull the hands back behind us, opening the chest, opening the heart for the day ahead. Carefully from here, step your right foot forward and start to find a lunge shape. So we don't want to go too deep. We don't want to sink mindlessly into the hips. Keep drawing the inner thighs toward each other. The hips stay even. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other. Pull your hands back. Lift your chest up toward the ceiling. Pull the hands as far away from you as is comfortable. Take a deep breath into the space you're creating across the top of the chest. And then use your exhale to relax the hands back down toward your lower back. Release the interlace of the fingers. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, circle your hands down, both of them to the inside of the right foot. We're going to shuffle the right foot out to the right, so hands can be underneath shoulders, and allow the hips to sink forward. Notice if you started to sink down into your shoulders here, and instead, can you press the space between the shoulder blades up? So the shoulder blades have a nice bit of space. If this is feeling quite comfortable, you feel you have more space to move, feel free to walk the hands forward, maybe even bringing the forearms down. But to be honest, first thing in the morning, I feel like that's a little too strong for me. So I like to just work here, feeling out what's going on through the hips, maybe bringing in a bit of movement as feels right. And then to come out of this, we're going to draw the hips back, plant the hands down, and simply swing that right leg around. We'll take another round of cat-cow to reset for the other side. As you inhale, stretch the belly out, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, cover spine. Come back to a neutral spine and then press into the knees. Let's lift up. Reach the arms up, big breath in. And circle the hands back behind you on the exhale. This time, making fists and pressing your fists toward each other. Draw the elbows back. Feel the chest lift. Step the left foot forward. Watching your lunge, not sinking too deeply into it. Let's keep the hips even. Lift up through the chest. Draw the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Imagine your elbows are starting to touch the back of the room. The gaze can be slightly lifted, but we don't want to be dropping the head back. Allowing this to open across the shoulders. Let's take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, draw your elbows back in toward you. Release the press of the fists. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, circle the hands down, both to the inside of the left foot. Walk that left foot out to the left slightly, so the hands can be underneath the shoulders. We don't want to be sort of leaning out to one side or the other. Watch your hips. Make sure you're not bringing them out of line as you come into this. So a really big stretch down for the right quad, up into the right hip flexor. Not sinking into the shoulders, keeping support through that space. But let the head go heavy, the back of the neck go long. Maybe open and close the mouth a couple of times. Notice where you're holding tension through the body. As you wake up, do you start to stiffen? And can we keep that beautiful relaxed feel of just coming out of sleep? Can we keep that as we move through our day? All right, coming out of this, drawing the hips back, walking the hands back, and again, just swinging that left leg back, finding our downward facing dog. Another heart opener, keep your hips over your knees. Let's walk the hands forward, Anahatasana. Melting your chest, your heart space down toward the floor beneath you. Forehead can come down. This is a big one on the shoulders as well. So take your time. Each exhale, we sink the chest a little lower. Breathing into the space that you're creating. Now, if you're still on your bed, you might want to leave it here. Otherwise, we are going to come up into a downward facing dog. So spreading the fingers out, looking forward to your hands, pressing into your palms. Walk the hands back in. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips and re-find that same sensation from the previous shape. Press down forward through the hands. Open the chest. Let the head drop. Legs do not need to be straight. And then let's slowly start pedaling out the feet, bending generously through one knee, and then the other, and then the other, and the other. Keep this going. I'm going to turn these pedaling out into little steps. And we'll walk our way forward. Nice and slow, no rush. To the top of the mat. As you walk forward, keep your hips as high as you can. When you need to bring weight out of the hands, do so. Let's go feet hip distance apart. Big breath in, hands to shins. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Keep the length of the spine. The knees a little bent. Press into the feet. Sweep the arms wide. Lift yourself up to standing. Hands can come to shoulder distance apart as you reach for the ceiling. Again, finding that length that you had lying down on your mat. And then exhale, let the hands come down by the side. And you're ready to start your day. I stood up. I can't stand up, can I?